Everyone, what a euphoria of last weekend, last Friday night.
Yeah, very much so, and back to work this week, focusing on another very important game for us. Another Friday night game. So our preparation will be very similar to the way we prepared for the game last week.
Good win for St Johnstone at the weekend. I don't know if you'll be able to catch some of the game. And what did you make of it? Quite a turnaround in form for them, wasn't it?
Starting out, after a good side, and Tommy has been consistently one of the best managers in the league. Not having the best of seasons compared to what they've had before, but he can't keep doing it. It's impossible unless he gets, the right kind of investment that matches other teams. I still think they're a very dangerous opposition for any team. They've gone to Ibrox and won. They've got points at Celtic Park. They're capable of putting a run of games together where wouldn't be beyond them to win 4 or 5 games in a row. We haven't beaten them this season. They came here and, nicked it off us at the end to win, but probably the better team second half of Easter Road. We played well up there at McDiarmid Park, but they've been 2 very tough games and I expect nothing else on Friday.
What did you make of the bust up at the end with Dolly and McCann? You watched it?
Saw it, yeah. It didn't look like much to me. These things happen, and they're 2 very serious guys, but they've got a sense of humour to go with it as well. They're competitive, and they both stand up for each other, for their staff, their teams. I think it's much ado about nothing really, and it'll probably wrangle on a little bit as these things tend to do, but no, they're 2 good guys, and I'm sure it'll settle down after a while.
I don't think they were exchanging jokes at the end of the game though, were they?
No,
they were pretty serious at one point.
Listen, we've all been there, Bray, and it's sometimes it's a dog-eat-dog business. I'm not too sure what went on, I don't know the background of it, but look, they're both feisty, dugouts, both feisty backroom teams. Obviously we don't want to see it all the time, but who am I to? People with glass houses shouldn't throw stones type of thing. I'm sure it'll be resolved. They're two excellent managers and 2 good guys, so I'm sure it'll be dealt with accordingly.
You're up tomorrow,
yeah.
I believe? You got your case ready?
Yeah. We'll just go along to the hearing. I'm not going to preempt anything, obviously, and see what the outcome of that is.
What point will you be trying to put across, maybe, in your sort of defence?
Well, that's for the hearing, and for the findings. Obviously, we have to answer to the referee's report, and will be as I'm sure I'll get a fair hearing as I always do.
A bit of a frustration that was the day before the game, it can be a different time.
What can you do? Most of our preparation's done. There'll just be a few little bits and pieces to do. So, I'm not going to miss much on that, or the players will miss much on that.
Do you get a chance before these hearings, just to sort of have a broader understanding of it, to see the referee's report before
yes.
you go in? And what have you made of what you've seen so far?
It's okay. I think he's put his point across, and I'll get the chance to put mine across.
Will you be there, Neil, tomorrow?
No.
Don McGill, outstanding on Friday night and merits the Scotland squad, do you think, Colin?
That's great news, great for him, great for his family, great for the club. He's had a stellar season, and this tops it off really. Allied to his buddy, McGinn, very, very pleased with the progress that Dylan's made this season, and thoroughly merited. He's been one of the players of the season really in Scotland, and obviously caught the manager's eye. Very, very pleased with that.
You looked like a man on a mission on Friday, didn't you? There was a big crowd there as well, but thousands, tens of thousands watching on TV. The fact that he's out of contract, that would only put him in the showcase. Really.
Yeah, look, we can't do nothing about that. We just got to manage the situation as best we can, and like I say, that's one of a number of outstanding performances from him this season. So it's not just been exclusive to that. He's played brilliantly in the majority of the games, and it's been a real mature season from him in all aspects of his game, whether it be away from football or around the training ground and on the pitch.
Team news?
Team news is everyone's fit. You know, there's no new fresh injury worries. And you know, Stephen Whittaker's now up to full speed, so he's in contention to start. And Barker, Gray, Laidlaw, they're a week closer to being fit. So yeah, it's a healthy squad at the minute, thankfully.
One final thing for me, Neil. Tomorrow in Parliament there's a bill being repealed, the bill that's brought in to try and sectarianism, saying, at football matches and things like that. Do you think, is it better now than what it was years ago, or is it getting worse again?
Well, I think it's better now. You know, we saw some really disturbing things pre-season, but I think that in the main, I think it's been, I haven't really taken a huge notice of it, and normally I pick up on these things, so yeah, I think the majority of the supporters in the country now are, supporting within the laws of the game or within their means. There's no place for sectarianism anymore. It is a form of racism, and we want to kick all sorts of racism and forms of racism out of the game completely.
There's no place in football for that, is there?
Not really. There's no place in society for it, really. Whether it be, some people use football as a vehicle to vent their frustrations, whatever, or their beliefs, whatever you want to call it, but not many people want to listen to it anymore.
I'll just go back to Scotland, given the way John McGinn and Dylan McGee compliment each other. You think they could do that for Scotland as well?
That's a question I have to ask Alec. I'm just very pleased that the two of them have been outstanding. I'm very pleased that both in the squad. I think it's a real shot in the arm for Dylan from a personal point of view, and it's very good for the profile of the club. Whether Alec thinks they're ready to play an international remains to be seen.
There was a bit of a disappointment in the international front with Jamie McLaren not in the studio squad today. I mean, given the way he played and Friday night after a blow to him, do you have to pick him up after that?
Maybe. I haven't had a chance to speak to him about it yet, but I will. But the fact that he's caught the eye again is a step in the right direction, and he just needs to keep producing the performances that he has since he's come in. Really, he's been excellent, and he's very unlucky not to have more goals, but his goal on Friday night was very important, priceless for us really, as was his all-round performance. So he can be delighted. I think he's happy. I think he's enjoying his football, which is a good start, and then he's still got time to keep forcing his way towards the squad.
A great result for you last week, Neil. You're doing well at the moment. Rangers, who have been doing well, obviously, last weekend. Aberdeen have been a bit patchy recently. Do you speak to your players about the forms of other teams and use that as a kind of dangling carrot a little bit to motivate them?
I think you've got to, yeah. I think you've got to, say, try and grasp the opportunity if it's there. Like, Aberdeen and Rangers are two very strong teams in this division, and any slip up or drop points that they make, it's very rare that they do. Then we have to try and maximise that or capitalise on it, because we're still sort of chasing them at the minute. But it was a decent weekend for us. Could all change again this weekend, so we have to be very mindful of that.
Again, although you are behind them, like you said, with some of the wins you've had this season against Hearts, and you've beaten Rangers twice at Ibrox, you must now have a mentality that you can beat anyone on your day.
I think we're in a good place. I don't think we're taking the wins for granted, and I don't think we're being complacent. I think our form since the turn of the year has been really, really good. So it's really important that we try and keep that momentum going as long as possible and see where it takes us. But I'm very, very pleased not only with the results, but some very, very good performances in there as well, and the mentality. We've shown really good mentality, but we've got 9 games to go, and that's still a quarter of a season, so anything can happen between now and then.